East Texans worried right now about their family and friends as violence breaks out in Mexico. This morning, some Texans are stranded. Ahead on Morning Y'all, the dangerous impacts unfolding after a cartel leader's death. And heads up if you're flying during this partial government shutdown, what DHS is now saying about TSA PreCheck and global entry after suspending two of the most widely used travel programs. And heavy snow and fierce winds battering the Northeast this morning. Tens of millions of Americans are under blizzard warnings. Officials are warning people to stay inside and stay safe.
And luckily no weather like that here in East Texas, but we still got some very cold temperatures this morning. I'll show you just how warm we'll get over the next few days coming up. So stay right there because Morning Y'all on CBS 19 Plus starts right now.
Together, we're putting East Texas first. You're watching Morning Y'all on CBS 19 Plus.
Good morning, y'all. Thanks for staying with us here on CBS 19 Plus. I'm Dana Dixon. I want to get over to Joel now. He's keeping track of that beautiful weather out there. The skies are just gorgeous out there behind you. Kind of cotton candy. Little cold, but gorgeous.
Yeah, I mean, at least we got the looks, right? Yeah, yes. Definitely. When you go out there and feel the temperatures, oh boy, they are definitely down into the low 30s. Some of us in the upper 20s. It is cold no matter how you slice it. Definitely want to make sure you bundle up on your way out this morning. Got a few upper level clouds. Otherwise, a beautiful picture on our Tyler cam looking south on Broadway, and the traffic really starting to pick up at this point. Down to 33, almost freezing in Tyler. North winds 5 miles per hour. We'll continue to see those clear skies through the rest of today. 29 the current temperature in Carthage, down to 27 in Center, 28 in Nacogdoches, 33 in Tyler, and down to freezing in Athens. It is a cold start to the day. We'll have some overall chilly temperatures for the remainder of today. 53 by noon and 59 degrees by 5 o'clock. And again, we'll continue to see those clear skies overhead for the rest of the day. But over the next few days, we'll continue to stair-step our way into the 70s and low 80s as a strong south breeze arrives. It'll be very, very strong, and I'll show you just how strong it'll be coming up in your full forecast later on.
Thank you, Joel. Violence has erupted in parts of western Mexico after the army killed the leader of a powerful drug cartel. And some Americans are stuck there and trying to return home. CBS News correspondent Wendy Gillette has the latest.
Heavy smoke rose from several fires set in the city of Puerto Vallarta after the head of a Mexican drug cartel, 59-year-old Nemesio Rubino Seguero Cervantes, also known as El Mencho, was killed.
The city's pretty much all shut down.
The U.S. State Department warned Americans to stay inside. As the violence started to unfold, some in the region returned home, including this woman who saw smoke rising outside her plane bound for Houston.
I feel safe now, but I'm still shaking because I can't believe this has happened to us.
But others are stranded as some flights out of Puerto Vallarta and other cities were canceled.
Unfortunately, there were no available flights to get us out of PV until Thursday.
This is the car El Mencho was traveling in, the boss of a criminal network known for drug trafficking to the U.S. The White House says the U.S. provided intelligence support to help the operation that led to a shootout and his killing.
This was one of the most significant actions undertaken in the history of drug trafficking, almost at the same level as Chapo Guzman.
The drug lord El Chapo is serving a life sentence in a U.S. federal prison. The killing of El Mencho could lead to more unrest as rival gangs challenge each other for control. Wendy Gillette, CBS News.
And the State Department had offered a reward of up to $15 million for information leading to the arrest of El Mencho. The violence in Mexico is also impacting flights here in Texas. This morning, several flights to and from Mexico have already been canceled at Bush Intercontinental Airport. Yesterday, Southwest and United Airlines canceled all their flights to parts of Mexico. This all happened after officials put a shelter in place in those areas of Mexico due to the heightened security risks. Some travelers say it's impacted them getting back to Texas.
You saw the ground workers like running around, going inside, like trying to hide, and then videos started popping up of like the airport people are running inside, and it happened to just be right in front of our gate.
It is unclear how long the cartel activity could disrupt air travel. Governor Greg Abbott is urging Texans currently in Mexico or trying to travel there to follow officials' warnings. In a statement, he encouraged people to get in touch with the U.S. Embassy, keep in contact with family, avoid high-risk areas, and prepare for any emergencies. Some people in Marshall are under a boil water notice this morning after a water main break. Crews shut off water valves near Highway 59 and the 1300 block of East Pinecrest Drive. Now, because of the drop in water pressure, there's a chance that the water could be contaminated with harmful bacteria. City officials say if you live in the impacted area, you should boil your water before drinking or cooking until the notice is lifted. Jury selection starts over today in the trial of 9 suspects accused in last summer's attack on an ICE facility in Alvarado. A mistrial was declared last week after a defense attorney had on a T-shirt with images of protesters while questioning potential jurors. The incident happened last July. Prosecutors say the suspect shot fireworks at the ICE facility, luring officers outside. An Alvarado police officer was shot in the neck but survived. The defendant's charges range from attempted murder of a federal officer to conspiracy. This morning, a powerful winter storm is hitting much of the Northeast and the Mid-Atlantic. More than 40 million Americans are currently under blizzard warnings. Multiple states, including New York, Pennsylvania, and Massachusetts, have declared those states of emergency. Forecasters are predicting anywhere from 1 to 2 feet of snow in some areas, along with the potential for coastal flooding. Air travel is at a near standstill at many airports in the Northeast. FlightAware shows nearly 3,500 flights were canceled Sunday and more than 7,000 delayed, with even more delays and cancellations today.
Canceled my flight and we're currently on a standby list, but I'm 20 in line.
Sleds, shovels, ice melt, ice chippers, people, and everything is sold out everywhere.
Sounds like a mess. The latest storm comes as much of the region was thawing out from last month's so-called snowcrete. But some relief could come soon with warmer temperatures forecast by the end of the week. 7:11 time for your morning headlines. Tense moments outside Mar-a-Lago. President Trump's Florida residence. U.S. Secret Service agents say an armed man was shot and killed after entering the secure perimeter of the resort. The incident unfolded early Sunday morning when the gunman, armed with a shotgun and a gas canister, made his way inside the estate. The president was in Washington, not at his Florida home at the time. Tariff turmoil continues. President Trump says that he is raising global tariffs to 15%, up from 10%, after the Supreme Court struck down his emergency tariff policies on Friday. The High Court ruled that Congress has the sole authority to regulate taxes. And the Department of Homeland Security is walking back a decision that could have caused major travel headaches. Over the weekend, DHS said it would suspend TSA PreCheck and global entry as part of a partial shutdown. But yesterday, the agency reversed course, saying PreCheck will remain open for now. If a PreCheck shutdown does happen, millions of enrolled travelers would be forced into standard security lines, likely meaning longer waits at airports across the country, as more than 40 million passengers rely on the program. And this all comes as Congress returns to Washington today. Lawmakers left town last week without a deal to fund DHS. The standoff centers on ice. The longer they go without reaching a funding agreement, the more likely it becomes for travelers to see disruptions. It's the last week of early voting for the March 3rd primary elections. Governor Greg Abbott is heading to Athens today for a Get Out the Vote rally. The event is set for 12:45 this afternoon at Tia Juanita's Fish Camp on East Tyler Street. State Representative Cody Harris and several other local leaders are also expected to be there. The rally is aimed at encouraging voters to head to the polls. Well, spring is not officially here yet, but it sure looks like it. In one East Texas place, after the break, we'll take you to an area that's turning heads with more than its colorful tulip fields. Welcome back. All month long, CBS19 is celebrating Black History Month, and this morning we are highlighting a trailblazer in American law enforcement. Walter Moses Burton was born into slavery but made history in 1869, becoming the first black sheriff elected in the United States, serving in Fort Bend County. He later served 7 years in the state Senate. Leaders unveiled a new historical marker on Friday, recognizing Burton's impact on justice and equality in Fort Bend County. County leaders say the dedication ensures that his legacy in Texas history will not be forgotten.
It is an amazing feat to do all that he did at the time that he did and accomplish as much as he did. So we want to give you thanks for recognizing it and acknowledging it, because at a time like this, we need every recognition that we can.
The historical marker was made possible by the Texas Black Reconstruction Legislators Recognition Act. It created a statewide historical marker program honoring African Americans who served in the Texas legislature during Reconstruction. And make sure that you join us for CBS 19's Black History Month special, celebrating resilience across East Texas and the trailblazers who paved the way for future generations. Don't miss these powerful stories, airing February 26th at 6:30 p.m. and again on March 1st, only on CBS 19. Well, right now, flowers are in bloom at one East Texas farm. What started as a Christmas tree farm has grown into a year-round destination. CBS 19's Nayeli Carrillo takes us to a tulip field that's blooming with more than just flowers.
Roses are red, violets are blue. At this farm,
¿Y el tulipán?
the tulips are in full bloom.
We have thousands of tulips here on the farm, lots of different varieties.
Rows of pink, yellow, red, and purple now stretch across Plantation Pines Christmas Tree Farm.
So we always say we do the planting and the praying and the Lord does the rest.
The farm is best known for Christmas trees, a 3-generation tradition that started with Heather's grandparents.
I grew up here on the farm. My grandparents actually started it. My parents took it over, and then my husband and I have been continuing in the farm the past 10 years together.
5 years ago, they decided to try something new, tulips, and now it's a full family affair.
But yesterday, my 2 oldest had their lemonade and their farm eggs out here to sell too. So they're catching on to the entrepreneurial spirit pretty soon here.
But it's not just their family making memories.
Que vengan sin pena, porque así yo también venía el primer año. ¿Dónde está? ¿Dónde está? Y
come without hesitation, because that's how I came the first year. But come without hesitation. The owners are very friendly. They let you take pictures.
Todo está muy.
Suri Martinez says this is her second visit, and this time it's all about her 1-year-old son, Mateo.
Now they have more things. The year we came, they didn't have some children's toys, and now they have more, and it's a bit more fun for the children.
She encourages other families to visit and enjoy the time with one another.
Go ahead and come on out before you miss it.
Not only are they leaving with a fresh East Texas grown bouquet, they're also leaving with a camera roll full of memories. In Tyler, Nayeli Carrillo, CBS 19.
Well, a special day for one Smith County family as a 2-year adoption journey came full circle. With just a few words from the judge, the courtroom erupted in tears and applause as Alexander was officially welcomed into the Johnson family. His classmates joined in on that celebration, how special, cheering as he became part of his forever home. Since joining the family, Alexander has grown and matured, and his parents say they look forward to sharing every milestone with him.
All my friends were with me, and just very emotional with me.
I've never been a mom before, but now I'm a mom over 3 years, so we're just blessed. I mean, it's exciting. I mean, we wouldn't know what to do without him.
How precious are they? The Johnsons also adopted Alexander's sister, Alicia, 2 years ago, and they cannot wait to celebrate more moments together. They had a lot of support there. All right, everybody's seen something to do with time travel, you know, Back to the Future. I know you love that one.
I love that one.
Bill and Ted, Inception, Doctor Who. So our question of the day is, if you had a time machine, where are you going first?
Oh, that's deep right there.
Isn't it?
Yeah, I feel like I like to go back to to the 80s, like the times that my parents grew up, and just kind of walk around.
See what that was actually like?
Yeah, just to kind of see what things were like. And
it was fairly fabulous.
Fairly fabulous.
Such good music. I mean, if I could
I agree with
give
you there.
any nod to the 80s, the fashion, the music, top notch.
The music was, I still love it.
For me, it would be to time travel back to the time when my kids were little.
Yeah.
Parents always long for that. I love where they are now, but it just goes by so quickly, and you're so tired and all the things.
Right, you can't take it in as well, probably.
Yeah.
Right?
Lots of people say they'd like to go back to the 80s and to the 90s for sure.
Oh,
so
yes.
People are agreeing with you. All right, let's get a check of your traffic as you get ready to head out, if you've still got to hit those roads today.
Absolutely, yeah. Things aren't looking too bad out there. I-20, nice and quiet, 2 hours over to Dallas, hour and 30 minutes over into Shreveport, so no interruptions, no delays to talk about when it comes to I-20. Same goes over in the US 69 corridor, not looking too bad there. 2 hours and 30 minutes up to Denison, with an hour and 30 minutes down into Lufkin, so you are in good shape there. 55 minutes from Jacksonville to Nacogdoches, and then Tyler to Palestine, also at 55 minutes. 40 minutes from Tyler to Longview, and up to 45 minutes at this point from Tyler to Athens. And we got those clear skies overhead, leading to very quiet conditions. Crickets on our CBS19 live radar this morning. Also, current visibility is not an issue at all this morning. Very cold, very dry air this morning. So visibility is not going to be an issue. Should be a nice, easygoing commute for you as you head out the door. So green lights for this morning and into the afternoon. High temperatures for this afternoon into the upper 50s. Roadways should be fantastic through the day. We'll be right back.
It's time for CBS 19 Sports.
Well, hello and welcome to Sports. I'm Jimmy Sierfos. We're glad you're with us. What do y'all know about Fruitvale, Texas? It's over by Canton. It's got a population just over 400 people. It's also got a regional semifinal basketball team. For the first time ever in school history, these ladies qualified after beating Frost 44-35 on Friday. Now, these girls' basketball playoffs have been moving quick. Remember a few days ago, Brownsboro beat Chapel Hill. Well, North Lamar just stopped them on Friday, 48-37, and that win to stop them. Hey, don't worry though, Brownsboro is going to be just fine, returning a ton of talent next year. Hey, how about another 4A Division I team? Bullard getting it done over Huffman Hargrave in a 40-30 win on Friday. They're taking on Fort Bend Crawford in the regional semis. Hey, that Fort Bend Crawford team was an absolute menace in football this year in those playoffs. Panthers going to be looking for some get back for East Texas. Palestine still fighting too. They picked up a 57-38 win over Livingston to stay alive. They have 3 players with over 10 points and earn the right to play Waco La Vega on Tuesday in Corsicana in those regional semis. Hey, DeSoto's been Longview's biggest menace all year long. Knocked him out in round 2 of football, knocked him out in round 2 of girls basketball. The Lady Lobos fell in this one 49-38. And the Tyler Legacy girls spot a tough one, but got the same result in a double overtime loss to last year's state runner-up in Cedar Hill. That's a tough draw in the second round, but the Lady Raiders gave them all they could handle and fell 73-69. Now the boys, though, they're fixing to get things kicked off here in the bi-district matchups on Monday and Tuesday, and I really like some of these matchups, including this one kicking off today. Hawkins and Cushing, both teams have single digits in that loss column, so if you're in Tyler, you're in luck. This one's going down over at TJC at Wagstaff. It just gets better from there. The dominant Chapel Hill team has a great matchup against a tough Canton team. Do not let their record fool you. This Canton team is scrappy and they can shoot it. This is a great round 1 test for the Bulldogs, and this matchup really fires me up. Maryland commit Austin Brown and his Lufkin Panthers get an immediate DFW test as Prosper Walnut Grove will be tipping off against them in Brownsboro on Tuesday at 8 o'clock. These Dallas teams have been giving these Texas teams fits just all all basketball season, all postseason. Lufkin will get to prove itself early on. In Martinsville, they play at 6 on Tuesday against Latexo in Jacksonville. Defending champs actually just played one of their closest games all season long in their closing game of the regular season. They only won 47-36. Keep an eye on that as they got all the matchups on our website, CBS19.tv.
Rich history of success going back even when it was Robert E. Lee. So I knew that coming into the job about 10 years ago.
And the rich get richer. That's Tyler Legacy head swim coach Jason Petty, a proud coach and now proud dad again. His top swimmer and his daughter, Madeline Petty, just took home her second straight first place finish at the UIL State Championships on Saturday. Petty won the 500 freestyle, swimming it in 4 minutes and 46.5 seconds to take home the gold. That's all I got for you. Morning, y'all.
This Black History Month, CBS19 honors the stories, achievements, and voices that have shaped our community and our nation for generations to come. Join us Thursday, February 26th at 6:30 p.m. and Sunday, March 1st at 7 a.m. on CBS19. Sponsored by Barksdale Federal Credit Union.
Good morning, y'all. I'm Dana Dixon. Thanks for joining us for this morning news update. East Texans with family in Mexico are on edge this morning, praying for their loved one's safety. This comes after the Mexican army killed the leader of the Jalisco New Generation cartel known as El Mencho. We talked with Vicky Maria, who has family in the impacted areas.
Well, a lot of the stores have shut down just because there's activity, violent activity, cars burning in the streets. And for that area, that's not something typical that you would see. So businesses are just being closed. People are just being told not to leave their homes and just stay home to keep safe, because you may be an innocent bystander and may cross a wrong path, and we just want our family to be safe.
She's asking people to just pray for them, as well as all the tourists stranded in the areas of Mexico right now. Governor Greg Abbott is urging Texans currently in Mexico or trying to travel there to follow officials' warnings. In a statement, he encouraged people to get in touch with the U.S. Embassy, keep in contact with family, avoid high-risk areas, and prepare for any emergencies. Teamwork is at the heart of baseball and softball, and in one East Texas town, that team spirit goes far beyond the field. The Chandler Sports Association is stepping up to the plate for one of their own. 9-year-old Aaron Wayne Dalton is recovering from severe burns after a December explosion. Since then, he's faced multiple surgeries, daily therapy, and a long road to recovery. But through it all, coaches say he's kept a smile on his face and a strong desire to get back on the field.
We went to visit him, and everything that went on, he still had a smile on his face. And that just speaks volumes to the kid he is and how hard he's fighting. And he wants to get back to this community.
Aaron Wayne has been part of the league since he was 5 years old, starting in T-ball. When Aaron Wayne returns, he'll have a special role waiting for him. He'll now be a park director. Coaches describe him as a kid with a huge heart and an even bigger fighting spirit. Such a sweet story. All right, let's get an update on your forecast now. Joel?
Yeah, we got lots of clear skies overhead. We'll have lots of sunshine for today. Off to a pretty chilly start, though, that is for sure. Temperatures in the 30s, some of us starting out in the 20s, then upper 50s for this afternoon. Again, we'll have plenty of sunshine overhead and light north winds that will eventually shift from the south and get really breezy into Tuesday and Wednesday. And also as a result of the breeze, we'll have some warmer temperatures into the next few days. We'll start out a little bit warmer for tomorrow, still in the 30s, still pretty chilly. But by tomorrow afternoon, temperatures will be in the middle to upper 60s to low 70s. And then warming up once again, temperatures really won't go too much of anywhere into Wednesday morning, 50s to begin, and then we'll make a run for the low to mid 80s with a little bit more cloud cover here and there, but still plenty of sunshine overhead, and those winds possibly gusting between 35 and 40 miles per hour. So very gusty into the next few days. 80s and 70s will continue for the rest of the week, still staying pretty dry and also very sunny.
Welcome back to Morning Y'all on CBS 19 Plus. This is what's coming up in our second half hour. Many families right here in East Texas are deeply affected by the events taking place in Mexico right now. Coming up, we hear from an East Texan filled with worry this morning. And the tariffs that Trump announced on Friday have already changed despite legal pushback against the tariffs that he imposed last year. Find out more just ahead.
And pretty quiet weather-wise into the next few days, but the winds, they will really start to increase, bringing up some much warmer temperatures to levels that we saw last week. We'll take a look at that 7-day forecast coming up in your forecast later this half hour.
Together, we're putting East Texas first. You're watching Morning Y'all on CBS 19 Plus.
Good morning, y'all. I'm Dana Dixon. Thank you for joining us here on CBS 19 Plus. Breaking news from our news partners at the Longview News Journal. A visiting judge will now preside over a misdemeanor assault case involving Marion County Judge Lourdes LaFleur. LaFleur is accused of groping a 14-year-old girl at a Halloween party on November 1st. Now, this is a picture of him speaking in December 2023 at an event. He denies the allegations and says he looks forward to being vindicated. The case was initially reviewed by the Marion County District Attorney's Office, then transferred to Morris County, where prosecutors determined there was no basis for felony indecent assault charges. It's now classified as a fine-only misdemeanor and will be handled in Jefferson Municipal Court. The U.S. State Department is warning Americans in several Mexican states to shelter in place after the Mexican army killed the leader of the Jalisco New Generation cartel known as El Mencho. Violent clashes erupted in western Mexico in the aftermath. The U.S. Deputy Secretary of State described the cartel leader as one of the bloodiest and most ruthless drug kingpins, known for trafficking huge quantities of fentanyl and other drugs to the U.S. His death triggered widespread security concerns. Now, you can see cars like that burnt out by cartel members blocking roads. Authorities say this happened at more than 250 points in 20 Mexican states. Guadalajara was turned into a ghost town Sunday night as people hunkered down. Schools canceled for this Monday in several Mexican states, and authorities are also reporting at least 14 dead, including 7 National Guard troops.
This was one of the most significant actions undertaken in the history of drug trafficking, almost at the same level as Chapo Guzman.
The White House says the U.S. provided intelligence support to help the operation that led to a shootout and El Mencho's killing. East Texans with family in Mexico are on edge this morning, praying for their loved one's safety. We talked with Vicky Murillo, who has family in the impacted areas, and what she's hearing from them on this volatile and dangerous situation is to stay home because it is simply too scary to travel right now. And it is having a ripple effect in the area.
Well, a lot of the stores have shut down just because there's activity, violent activity, cars burning in the streets. And for that area, that's not something typical that you would see. So businesses are just being closed. People are just being told not to leave their homes and just stay home to keep safe, because you may be an innocent bystander and may cross a wrong path, and we just want our family to be safe.
She's asking people to just pray for them, as well as all the tourists stranded in these areas of Mexico right now. And if you are an American in Mexico watching this on streaming, or you know a U.S. citizen who's there, here are some important resources. First, sign up for the Smart Traveler Enrollment Program. If you're in Mexico and you're having an emergency, you can call 55-8526-2561. Or if you're in the U.S., you can call 1-844-528-6611. There's also the Department of State Consular Affairs, and Representative Nathaniel Moran has also shared on social media that his office is also available to help constituents. That number is 903-561-6349. Nick Reiner is expected back in a Los Angeles courtroom today. During this arraignment hearing, he could enter a plea in the stabbing deaths of his parents. The 32-year-old is charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder in the December killings of filmmaker Rob Reiner and his wife Michelle Singer Reiner. He's now represented by a public defender after his previous attorney withdrew from the case. Prosecutors have not yet decided whether to seek the death penalty. President Donald Trump announced that he is raising global tariffs to 15% from the 10% he imposed a day earlier. The back-to-back tariff announcement came after the Supreme Court handed down a decision on Friday, ruling the sweeping emergency tariffs that Trump imposed last year are illegal. But the High Court's ruling only applies to the duties that Trump imposed using one specific law. And the president immediately responded by saying he will now rely on other legal authorities to keep tariffs in place.
Other alternatives will now be used to replace the ones that the court incorrectly rejected.
The whole thing is a farce.
The law that Trump is relying on for his new 15% global tariffs requires that Congress approve the duties within 150 days for them to remain in effect. As for the tens of billions of dollars U.S. companies paid after Trump raised tariffs last year, Democrats are demanding the money be refunded. A man armed with a shotgun was killed yesterday morning while attempting to enter President Trump's Florida estate. CBS News' Christian Benavides has the details.
U.S. Secret Service agents said Sunday that an armed man was shot and killed after entering the secure perimeter of Mar-a-Lago, President Trump's Florida estate. According to sources, the man has since been identified as 21-year-old Austin Tucker Martin of North Carolina. It was around 1:30 Sunday morning when authorities say the gunman, armed with a shotgun and gas canister, made his way just inside the inner perimeter of the state. The president was in Washington and not at his Florida home at the time.
A deputy and 2 Secret Service agents on the detail went to that area to investigate. They confronted a white male that was carrying a gas can and a shotgun.
Palm Beach County Sheriff Rick Bradshaw says he pointed the weapon directly at officers.
Only words that we said to him was drop the items, which means the gas can and the shotgun. He put the gas can down and pointed the shotgun at officers.
The man was shot and killed by responding officers. The FBI is taking the lead on the ongoing investigation into the shooting. Christian Benavides, CBS News.
Back here in East Texas, 3 people are facing charges in Palestine after allegedly being caught driving with meth in the car along with an infant child. According to the Palestine Police Department, that traffic stop took place just after 12:30 in the morning yesterday on South Loop 256 at Benbrook. We're told 35-year-old Laura Dorsey from Tyler was driving without a valid license and placed under arrest. 30-year-old Julio Roa and Stephanie Silva were also in the car with their 8-month-old daughter. No one in the vehicle was carrying a valid license. After searching the vehicle, officers say they found 7 kilograms of meth in a duffel bag. They were charged with delivery of a controlled substance and endangering a child. Child Protective Services took custody of the 8-month-old. Longview fire crews rescued an elderly resident from a fire yesterday morning. This happened just after 10 on Washington Street. Investigators say black smoke was visible from a distance when they arrived. Crews were able to remove the resident and got that fire under control without any injuries. 2 people have been displaced, though. The fire is under investigation. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Well, there's an old saying, do what you love and you'll never work a day in your life. You've heard it, right? Well, you're about to meet someone who loves 2 things in particular, cats and napping. And as Steve Hartman learned on the road, what he does with those 2 loves is something close to perfection.
The Safe Haven Pet Sanctuary has been blessed. Blessed with a godsend of a volunteer.
Want some treats?
According to Executive Director Elizabeth Feldhausen.
Yeah, we were very lucky that he walked in here.
As we first reported back in 2019, the savior of the cat rescue is a brother at the St. Norbert Abbey in Green Bay, Wisconsin, named Terry Lauerman.
I've always been a cat person. To me, it's a blessing to be touched by creation.
Oh, you are such a sweetie.
And that's why this 81-year-old retired teacher started coming in to brush the cats.
Yeah.
But his mission quickly evolved.
It just happens.
Now, on every visit, as Terry settles into one of the many comfy couches here, he starts feeling the effects of all this meowatonin and becomes full-on catatonic.
You sleep on the job?
Yes, that's exactly it.
Is this still volunteer work?
Yeah, there's no salary involved in it.
I know. I was stressing the work part.
Oh, yeah, well, you can't have much expectation for somebody who's volunteering here.
But there's more to his naps than meets the shut-eye. By dozing off so comfortably, Terry has actually done more for this cat rescue than any conscious volunteer ever could. It all began when the rescue posted pictures of Terry's cat naps. The photos went viral, so the sanctuary put out a calendar. Started using Terry as their main marketing tool.
How much have you raised because of him?
Near $100,000.
A guy sleeping can have that kind of impact?
I wish that I could fall asleep and make $100,000.
It's now been 6 years since we first told this story.
Terry's still here doing his thing.
I can see that.
Yeah. And to be honest, I think he's obligated now because they'd be really mad at him if he didn't.
Elizabeth has continued to spin Terry's slumbers into fundraising gold. The sanctuary has now doubled in size and added a full-time vet.
Good kitty.
Which Terry says just goes to show that changing the world
Let's take a nap.
Can be a lot easier than you think.
When you retire, you can do all kinds of neat things. Find something and do it.
I'll sleep on that.
Yeah.
Steve Hartman on the road in Green Bay, Wisconsin.
He and the cats definitely sleeping on that.
Oh, for sure. He's got it made right there.
I wish I could fall asleep at the drop of the hat like that. All right. Well, if you've ever been anywhere online, lately, that is, and there's a chance you've sent a video of a baby monkey at a zoo holding a plush orangutan. Punch, a 6-month-old Japanese monkey was abandoned by his mother at birth, but zookeepers, they stepped in, caring for him day and night by hand. Look at him and his surrogate mom, a plushie orangutan that is now his safe place and stand-in for his mother's fur. Punch's story went viral with many of them, or both on and offline, with people cheering him on. Now he is slowly joining the troop, but still clings to that stuffed friend, kind of just like kids do, you know?
Absolutely.
When they drag along their favorite stuffy, and by the end of, when they get a little older, that stuffy looks rugged.
Oh yeah, it looks a little used.
I know. For my boys, it was a puppy, and for my daughter, it was a bunny. But man, the necks on those puppies were like rough.
They were, yeah.
A little wobbly.
It gets a little loose after a while, for sure.
And a little dirty.
A little dirty.
But that's okay. That was really, really sweet.
Yeah.
All right, well, a 2-year-old dog allegedly abandoned at an airport ticket counter in Las Vegas has a new home. The police officer who responded when the 2-year-old dog was left alone has adopted that golden mini poodle. Named the dog Jet Blue. When the dog was left at the airport, an animal rights group, Retriever Rescue of Las Vegas, reached out to the owner and said the individual had 10 days to claim the dog. A spokesperson for the group says the owner hung up on the call. Since then, officers have made an arrest in that case. The Retriever Rescue Group says the dog has found a loving home, and the group members praise the officer for his act of compassion. How adorable is that dog, though?
That is adorable.
Sweet little thing.
Jet Blue?
It's Jet Blue.
Jet Blue, all right.
As it should be. Like if it happens at an airport, you got to be named after something airport related.
Absolutely, yeah, something. I think that's a good name.
That was really sweet. All right, well, it is Jet Blue outside today.
It is.
But also cold.
It is cold, absolutely.
Bundle up.
Yeah, absolutely. Bundle up while you can this morning, and we'll have a couple of more colder mornings before we really climb in those temperatures for the middle of this week. Got clear skies overhead, a few upper level clouds drifting by, but otherwise we are in great shape. Roberts and Roberts Cam, beautiful as you just saw behind us. And again, traffic beginning to pick up quite a bit there on Broadway. And temperatures right now down to 33 in Tyler with a light north breeze of around 5 miles per hour. Feeling like 29 with that little bit of a light breeze. 30s and even upper 20s across parts of Deep East Texas. 28 degrees in Center, also 28 degrees in Nacogdoches. 37 in Jacksonville, 34 in Palestine and Crockett, and down to freezing in Longview and Henderson. It is a cold start to the day, and we'll end up with some slightly warmer temperatures into the afternoon, still remaining just below average. That's going to be very, very temporary. things are going to be flipping the script as we head into the next few days. 53 by noon and 58 by the time we get to dinner time this evening. Still dealing with some very beautiful sunny skies. 70 for tomorrow. A strong south breeze arrives into tomorrow morning and through the afternoon. That'll continue into Wednesday as temperatures continue to climb 20 degrees above average. How long will that last? Well, you'll have to find out later when I show you your 7-day forecast.
Welcome back. It is 7:51 right now. This morning, a powerful winter storm is hitting much of the Northeast and the Mid-Atlantic, with more than 40 million Americans currently under blizzard warnings. You're looking at a live pic of Times Square right now in New York City. Multiple states and local officials are warning people to stay inside and stay safe after declaring states of emergency. Travel bans are in place in some regions as the winter weather also snarls airports, stranding thousands of passengers. CBS News' Wendy Gillette has more from New York.
Heavy snow and fierce winds are battering the Northeast. Multiple states, including New York, Pennsylvania, and Massachusetts, have declared states of emergency, with predictions of up to 1 to 2 feet of snow and possible coastal flooding.
This is a very serious storm that has the potential to be a historic nor'easter.
Ahead of the storm in Boston, supplies were in short supply.
Sleds, shovels, ice melt, ice chippers, and everything is sold out everywhere.
A ban on non-essential travel is in effect here in New York as the city faces its first blizzard warning in nearly a decade.
You need to be prepared for the worst. Air travel is at a near standstill at many airports in the Northeast. FlightAware shows nearly 3,500 flights were canceled Sunday and more than 7,000 delayed, with even more delays and cancellations today.
I canceled my flight and we're currently on a standby list, but I'm 20 in line.
The snow and ice also creating treacherous conditions on the roads.
I've been sliding through pretty much every light, unfortunately.
Prompting warnings from this plow truck driver.
Stay home, be safe, keep everybody else safe.
This latest storm comes as much of the region was thawing out from last month's so-called snowcrete.
I'm sick of the winter. I want it to be all done.
Relief could come soon, with warmer temperatures forecast by the end of the week. Wendy Gillette, CBS News, New York.
They're going to need that to thaw out. The East Coast isn't the only region dealing with the snow this week. According to the National Weather Service, higher elevations in Northern California could get more today, and another system is expected to dump snow on parts of the Great Lakes and upper Midwest starting tomorrow. Definitely cold across parts of the area. In East Texas, it's just cold, nothing winter weathery.
Yeah, nothing winter weathery, at least not to that extent for sure. Definitely dealing with the cold. We're definitely feeling like we should be for this time of year in the winter, but there is the blizzard off to the east on our future skycast. These little lines here, these are lines of the same pressure. They're called isobars. And whenever you have the lines as close as they are here, you got some very strong winds. So not only are we seeing a little bit of snow here, we're seeing some very strong winds, whiteout conditions, lots of snow as we head into the northeastern parts of the country. But meanwhile, we still have high pressure that's going to be in control over the central parts of the country, also including East Texas as well. There's the next system off to the north that will be dumping a little bit of snow across the Great Lakes, and some of that cooler air will try to make its way to the south. It will not be really dropping our temperatures all that much. We'll see some cooler temperatures for the second half of the week, but it will not really make a huge dent in our forecast for the next few days. Also expecting very breezy conditions. Winds coming in from the south, bringing up some very mild temperatures. We're talking about levels that we saw last week for the next couple of days. Now for today, still right around average, if not just a little bit shy, in the upper 50s to low 60s. Plenty of sunshine overhead. Here are the winds Tuesday into Wednesday. Gusts between 25 and 30 miles per hour. Holding steady all the way through Wednesday morning and into the afternoon, with the occasional gust up to about 40 miles per hour at times. Very windy. It's also been very dry. You couple those two things together, we have a very high risk for fire danger into tomorrow, and also going into Wednesday too. Very similar conditions there. So 50s for today. We'll drop down into the 30s for the overnight, and the winds will turn in from the south. Temperatures will still remain very warm into the next few days, all the way into Wednesday. Temperatures will make a run for the low 80s, and then we look to stay there pretty much into the next few days. After that, still staying pretty dry.
Oh, time travel. What would you do? Go back to the future? Yes.
Hoverboards.
Maybe do more Bill and Ted, Inception, Doctor Who. So our question is, if you had a time machine, where are you going first? You originally thought the 80s.
80s. I think it'd be cool to go to December 31st, 1999. See the turn of the millennium.
Oh, it was a lot more wah than
it was all the hype with the Y2K and the computers crashing.
A lot of hype. Then it was just another New Year's.
Grab the toilet paper and everything. And
I remember doing all the stories and nothing happened.
Nothing happened. It was just...
We were all prepared and for nothing. If it wasn't going back to when my kids were little, when they're babies and all of that again, it would be the 80s for sure. It was such a fun time.
Yeah, I would also probably go back to my childhood as well.
Yeah, just revisit a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, it's not the same when you're an adult, but it's still nice to look back, right?
Being a grown-up's hard. That's what I tell my kids all the time. You know, when they want to grow up, just like our parents told us, but we're like, no, we are ready to grow up.
Exactly. Like, take it all in, really. Take it all in.
I know, it's hard to do, right? All right, well, we are about to step away for a moment while we break into our over-the-air broadcast with a news update. Stay with us right here on CBS 19 Plus. Good morning, y'all. I'm Dana Dixon. Thanks for joining us for this morning news update. Developing news from our news partners at the Longview News Journal. A visiting judge will now preside over a misdemeanor assault case involving Marion County Judge Louard LaFleur. LaFleur is accused of groping a 14-year-old girl at a Halloween party on November 1st. This is a picture of him speaking at an event in December 2023. He denies the allegations and says he looks forward to being vindicated. The case was initially reviewed by the Marion County District Attorney's Office, then transferred to Morris County, where prosecutors determined there was no basis for felony indecent assault charges. It's now classified as a fine-only misdemeanor and will be handled in Jefferson Municipal Court. 3 people are facing charges in Palestine after allegedly being caught driving with meth in the car along with an infant child. According to the Palestine police, that traffic stop took place just after 12:30 yesterday morning on South Loop 256 at Benbrook. We're told 35-year-old Laura Dorsey from Tyler was driving without a valid license and placed under arrest. 30-year-old Julio Roa and Stephanie Silva were also in the car with their 8-month-old daughter. Officers say they found 7 kilograms of meth in a duffel bag while searching the car. The suspects were charged with delivery of a controlled substance and endangering a child. CPS took custody of the baby. And Longview fire crews rescued an elderly resident from a fire yesterday morning. Happened just after 10 on Washington Street. Investigators say black smoke was visible from a distance when they arrived. Crews were able to remove the resident and got the fire under control without any injuries. 2 people have been displaced. The fire is now under investigation. Longview and Winsboro are officially being recognized as veteran-friendly communities by the East Texas Council of Governments. The designation honors cities that go beyond words to support veterans, providing access to jobs, healthcare, housing, and other services. Longview is home to a VA clinic and the Veterans Memorial Plaza in Teague Park, and it's being praised for its community-wide efforts to help those who served. Officials say the recognition shows these cities are setting the standard for veteran support in East Texas. All right, let's get a check of your weather now. Don't forget to take your jacket with you.
Yeah, absolutely. Some of us starting out in the upper 20s this morning, and we'll eventually get to the 50s by noon today, and we'll shoot for the upper 50s. Even some low 60s could be possible in some parts of the area. We'll have plenty of sunshine overhead and winds right out of the north for today. 50s to near 60 for the afternoon. The winds will really start to increase into tomorrow. We'll see a little bit of a shift in from the south, and then we'll really start to increase 30s as we start out your Tuesday, but upper 60s to low 70s by Tuesday afternoon as winds approach the 35 to 40 mile per hour gust mark into the next few days. And 50s to begin your Wednesday, then upper 70s and low 80s will be a good possibility into Wednesday afternoon with a couple of clouds here and there, otherwise staying very, very dry. And temperatures for the next several days after that will continue to be mild in the middle to upper 70s and even near 80 by Wednesday and also into Saturday. All right, welcome back. Here's one more look outside as you head out the door. We have blue skies overhead, just a few upper level clouds out there, but still very beautiful. Temperatures as you step outside are very cold. Upper 20s in Nacogdoches and also center, then low 30s across the rest of the area. Very cold start no matter how you slice it. Up to the upper 50s for the afternoon, then 70s and 80s will return for Tuesday and Wednesday. The only caveat there is the breeze. We got a 30 to 35 mile an hour gust forecast for tomorrow, possibly up to 40 miles per hour at times. So it will be very gusty on top of those warm temperatures, and those warm temperatures look to be here to stay for the next several days through next weekend.
Go find your hairspray.
Right, exactly.
Joel warned us, right?
I sure did.
All right, do y'all remember Pim, the cute little Girl Scout from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania that we talked about on the show last week? Well, she got a sweet update. This, in her first season, 6-year-old Pim Neal has sold more than 100,000 boxes of cookies. And on Friday, she got to sell a couple of those boxes in the mayor's office as well. Mayor Corey O'Connor designating the day as Pim Neal Day. As of Friday afternoon, Neal has officially sold more than 117,000 boxes of cookies thanks to a number of videos posted to social media. She even sold 20,000 boxes in one day. Neal now has her eye on the record of boxes sold by one Girl Scout, which is around 180,000. I think that everybody should help her out.
I think definitely 117,000.
That's impressive.
Her goal was 100,000, right?
Yeah,
wow.
impressive.
Congratulations.
That's right.
Oh, that's awesome. Very good.
Keep those boxes going. I think you have till March 1st.
Oh, yeah.
For the cookies.
She can do it.
She can do it.
I have faith.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Congratulations.
Thanks so much for starting your day with us here on Morning Y'all on CBS19 Plus. And don't forget to catch the noon show coming up on CBS 19 and CBS 19 Plus, and keep it here for the latest news and weather throughout the day. We hope you have a great morning. We'll see you back tomorrow, dark and early at 5 a.m.